Hello everyone. This tutorial is for everyone who is new to Java and Eclipse. So these are the topics that I am going to discuss today. So it includes how to download and install Eclipse IDE, how to create a new Java project, how to create a new package, how to run a Java project, how you can add debug points and start debugging, how you can add external libraries and build path, how to configure build path, then how to generate constructor and getter and setters automatically, how to convert your project to a Maven project, and how you can use the Eclipse shortcuts to speed your programming. So these are the basic topics that will be covered in this tutorial. So let's begin. To download, so let's go to Google and search for Eclipse. Hit enter. Now here you will have this link for eclipse.org. So you have to click on Eclipse IDE for Java developers. Now once it is open, you will have multiple options to download. So the download will be available for 32 as well as 64-bit. So as you can see here, they have written a new package is available. So just click here. Okay. Now if you go down, you have here options like you have different packages. Okay, so this is for Java developers, this is for enterprise Java developers, and there are more options as you can see for C++ developers and all that. So you can start with the first IDE as well, but I would prefer I would say that you should prefer this one for enterprise Java developers because it provides more features. So just you can download for 64 or 32-bit. Okay, and once your download is completed, you will have a exe file. So then you will have to run that exe file and follow the instructions. So actually the installation process of Eclipse is not very complicated, so it is quite easy. You just have to go proceed, click on next, and your Eclipse will be installed successfully. So now once you install your Eclipse IDE, this is how it's going to look. Okay, now I'll show you how you can create a new project, a new Java project. So you have to click on file, you have to go to new, and here is Java project. So click on that. Now a pop-up will be opened. Yeah, so you have to enter a project name. Okay, suppose I give demo 2. Okay, click on next, yeah, and just finish. Okay, so as you can see, a demo 2 project is created already. Okay, if you expand, you have a src folder here. So to create a new package inside this project, you will have to click on the src, right click on src folder, then go to new and go to package. Okay, then you can create a new package. Suppose the name is com.demo2, and I'll finish. So package is created. So it's quite easy to create a new project and a new package. Okay, now I'll show you how you can create your first Java file and run it. So again, you will have to right click on the project, go to new, click on class. Okay, now just provide your class name. Suppose it is Java tutorial. Okay, then here are few options that you can select, like if you select this checkbox, then a main with method will be created automatically, so you should prefer checking it always. And you can select this if you want to generate comments, and click on finish. So your class will be created automatically. Yeah, so this is your Java, it's like the first class that we have created. Okay, so because we have checked the checkbox while creating, so as you can see, a constructor is created automatically and a main method is created automatically. Okay, now just to show you how we can run. Okay, I'll just print Java. Okay, so I'll save my class, and now to run your project you have to go to your file, whatever Java file, like whatever file you have the main class in. So if I'm on this class, and if I click on this green button, so this file will be executed automatically. Or you can go to the file and right click and click on run as Java application. You can do both. Okay, so now once you run, you will see Java will be printed. See, Java is printed. So it's quite easy to run a Java application with the help of Eclipse IDE. Okay, so this is how you can run your project. Now I'll show you how you can add debug points and debug your classes. So to do that, for example, I have to debug at this point. Okay, so I will just go to this number. Okay, and I will double tap. Okay, as you can see, a debug point is added here. Okay, line breakpoint. Now to debug, you don't have to run it from here, you will have to run it from here. As you can see, if you hover on this bug icon, then there is debug Java tutorial, so you will have to click on this button. Now once you click, your debug will be started. As you can see, your execution, the line where we have added the debug point, this line is highlighted with a green color. So what happens when we debug is basically the execution is proceeds normally how it is executed while we click on the run button, but wherever we add the debug point, at that point the execution will be paused. Okay, so now to proceed, if you have a variable or something, then you can even check here their value by using debug points. Okay, so at this point I don't have any. I'll just to proceed, you can just click on resume. Okay, or you have here two options as well. So one is step into and this is step over. So step over will execute the program line by line, and step into will do something is like if you have a function, if you have a function call, then it will go inside that function and it will show you the execution line by line. Okay, so this is the reason why we can use debugging, and like if you have some error and you are not able to resolve, then you can definitely use debugging points and debug your program. Okay, so as you can see, Java is printed. Now the next topic I wanted to discuss is how you can add external libraries in your build path and configure your build path. So I'll close this. Now if you go to your project and right click, now here is option to build path. Okay, and you can see, as you can see, there is option for configure build path, so you have to click on that. Now here are the libraries option. Okay, so if you want to add any library or add any external jar, you can just click, and suppose this is there. Okay, I wanted this, I will add, click on this, it will be added, apply and close. Okay, so in this way you can add or edit or remove any of the libraries that you want and configure your build path. Now the next is how you can generate constructor and getter and setter automatically in your class. So if you have a class, suppose this is your class, and now to show this I will have to add a variable. Okay, I have added a variable as name. Now you have to go to that class. Basically you have to right click on that class, go to source. Okay, here you can see options is there. So here is option generate getter and setter. If you click on that, you have to select for whatever property you want to create and click on generate. See, the getter and setter is created automatically. In the same way, if you right click and go to source and go to constructor, so here is constructor using fields or from superclass. There are two options, so I will go from superclass. Okay, automatically a constructor is added, so it cannot be added. Okay, now I'll show you the other option, that is using fields. Okay, so using name, I'm creating a parameterized constructor. So if you click on generate, as you can see, this constructor is created. So it's quite easy to create setter and getter classes, because it is created automatically. You just have to provide the parameter names, that is for whatever parameter you want, getter and setter, and it is created automatically. Okay, now the next topic is how you can convert your project into a Maven project. Now most of the people use Maven as their build tool for their Java applications. So you can even convert your project to a Maven project. You just have to go to project, right click, and here is option. If you go to configure, there is an option convert to Maven project. Just click on that, and you will have to fill the details that you want. This you want name as suppose I give Java tutorial. Okay, and I click on finish. Now it will create the appropriate POM file that is required. It will see it has added this Maven compiler plugin as the dependency. Okay, and this is converted to a Java project now. Sorry, a Maven project now. Okay, so this is how you can convert your project to a Maven project. Now the last point is that how you can use shortcuts, how you can find the Eclipse shortcuts, and how you can even add new shortcuts to Eclipse. Okay, as you can see, it's still building the Maven project. Okay, it will take a little bit of time. Now yeah, so there is one shortcut that you should always remember, that is Control Shift L. Okay, it is a very useful shortcut because this shortcut helps you to see all the Eclipse shortcuts that are available already. So I'll show you. See, if I click on press Control Shift L to open the preference page, or this page where all the shortcuts are available. So these are the shortcuts that are available by default. I have not added any, so you can use all these shortcuts. Okay, now this is how you can find the shortcuts and use it. And if you want to add more shortcuts, you will have to go to Window, go to Preferences. Now in Preferences, if you see, there is option as keys inside editor. If you click on keys, these are the default keys available with the bindings. Okay, so F12, as it was shown, F12 will activate the editor. So there are many, if you see. So here is also an option to add new. Okay, you just have to provide the name, description, and you can add a new one. Okay, and you can like edit also, I guess. Yeah, see, there is option to edit. You can change this and apply. Okay, so this is from where you can update your shortcut keys. So these are the basics that I wanted to cover in this video. These are the basics that are needed for Eclipse IDE and to start with Java as a beginner. So I hope you were able to understand it and you find it useful. Do let me know how you find it in the comment section, and thank you so much. Have a great day.